Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. We're going to have fun tonight. We finally made it to our next live giveaway. And if you're not watching this live, you're watching replay, thank you for watching. It'll still be a fun show. Answer some chats here in the live chat. Just kind of, bring you guys speed on what's going on with the channel, some things coming up. Try to avoid showing you my unsightly hair. Something specifically wrong with it. Just it's better with a hat, you know what I mean? Got a face for radio, that kind of a thing. So I've got a hair that is best seen under a hat. But welcome in to everybody. Hit the thumbs up as you come in. We got some stuff to give away, and I am very, very excited to do so. So we are giving away 4 CD players tonight. And come on in, and we're going to talk about how it's going to work, amongst other things, and just hang out for a while. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day wherever and whenever if you're watching the replay, but wherever you are. And I can't wait to hear what you guys are up to. I want to pack the house. I want to get as many people in here as possible. I want to fix my webcam. You know what? While people are still coming in the door, I want to tell you something. My project back here has been having a little bit of an issue. If you remember, I said I was going to get all these signs, and I've got a couple. As you can see, I've got the Nipper the dog there, the Victor thing here, Edison, RCA Victor thing there. Didn't intentionally try to go heavy on the Victor stuff, but it's just what's more available. These are modern tin signs. And my idea was to sort of plaster it back there with vintage advertising, so it wasn't just a blank wall to look at. And 2 of my signs never got delivered to me, and that was a bummer. So I had to get my request of money back from Amazon. I need to check and see if they actually sent me my money back. But this is kind of what we're stuck with for now. So I'll keep my eyes peeled for more signage. I was thinking, well, maybe I could just kind of redistribute this, but I don't want to take anything away from it. This creates a really cool angle. I've got some videos here where I put the camera looking this way on the PLX, and that's kind of nice. Maybe another one on that wall. Definitely need something up here and maybe up there. This one, I might choose to move. Maybe I'll swap these 2 out, because if I'm in a Zoom call for work, I use the background filter, and sometimes it will think this is my head or a head, and so it'll pop out of the filter, and people are like, "What is that?" And then it kind of can be disruptive to meetings. So I don't want that to be the case. So welcome in, one and all. Welcome Jeremy. Welcome Michael, Kyle, Ella. Haunted Coachman from Southampton, UK. Thank you for being in here. A nerdy movie and gamer lover. Welcome in. George, welcome in as always. Rice cooker. Already got my share of CD players just coming to enjoy some conversation. Great. I'm glad you're here. Simon, I read CD player giveaway and I joined instantly. Well, I'm glad you are here. Hello from Pennsylvania, says Todd. Nicole's reading Nook. Hello from Virginia. Michael, I love the signs you have there. I have tons of tin signs, mainly motorcycles, though. Yeah, that's cool. That's really, I need to get more. Kyle, welcome in. Again, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. If this is your first live, Gerald, welcome in. If this is your first live with us, we do these from time to time. I wouldn't say maybe like every other week-ish. I'd like to do more of them. But I love these lives. It's an energy that you can't get on a pre-recorded show. And it kind of gives us an opportunity to interact. And I love to hear from you guys, or to read from you guys, I should say. Curious what you're up to, what you're excited about, what you want to see more of, what record you're hunting for, what did you just find, what are some of your successes and failures, and to share mine as well, sort of in a more informal way. So the way this is going to work is this. We are going to just chat. Ask me anything in the comments, unless we get, over 100 people in here. I should be able to keep up pretty well on comments. I try my best. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you some things I've been up to, some things that we've been working on, some things coming your way. And then we're going to do a giveaway. I've got 4 CD players to give away. I'm going to unbox one live here to show you this one. I haven't seen it yet. And we are going to do 4 giveaways. Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Klim, K-L-I-M. And they make some fantastic CD players, specifically the Nomad. And that's what we're going to be doing a giveaway of tonight, the Nomad. 4 of them. We're going to be doing a black, a white, a wood grain, and a clear. and they are super cool. And I can't wait to share them, some of the features with you, and we're going to unbox it together. And 4 people are going to win. Absolutely, and I can't wait to share it. This is open. These are going to be shipped directly from Klim, and they have decided that this is going to be open to the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the United Kingdom. So the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the United Kingdom. If you are in one of those areas, feel free to enter. And again, we'll do that in a little bit. Meanwhile, let me get caught up on comments. George, have you ever considered doing something like album covers on the wall? I have years ago. I got my most interesting album covers, and I actually pinned them to the wall. And I know that's kind of cringy, and it started cringing me out a little bit too. Then nothing was really valuable, but I got to think I really ought not to do that. And my whole MO has been, vinyl should be experienced, should be used, not just kept up, on a proverbial shelf or put behind a glass case. That it should be experienced. Let me move my microphone a little closer. But even that being said, I was a bit like, I don't know. That's a little bit disruptive or a little bit destructive to those. But anyway, I did have that change. I would change them out from time to time. I know they make shelves. Hudson Hi-Fi does shelves. I need to perhaps utilize something like that. But lately, I've just been kind of experimenting with this. But you know me, everything changes. A year from now, I may have something completely back there, or maybe who knows what will change, but it will probably change. Back in Denver, I definitely did the album wall thing, and I did it. I did a 9. Let's see, it was a 9. Let's see, how did that 4 across, 3 up, and I kind of spaced them out, and I had like I think it was 9-foot ceilings in that room, and it really, it was a grand thing to see. So, yeah. Gerald says, started listening to George Strait classic. Awesome. Yeah, George Strait. That is some straight country music. I like it. Very cool. Play on the word George Strait. I haven't, and the thing about country music is this, what I'm alluding to, is that there's a debate over kind of classic country, like pop country, and more modern country and things like that. So it's kind of interesting. And I think that he's considered, kind of a renaissance of vintage country, not the kind of 80s urban cowboy stuff. Maybe I got that completely wrong. Michael says, I want to thank you for turning me on to the Best Buy turntable. It's an amazing turntable. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, Insignia. I'm trying to think of the name of the company that makes that. It's the same company that makes the Target Heyday turntable. They've also made some turntables by other brands. Todd's picked up a couple diamond discs. That's cool. I haven't played my diamond discs in a while. I've got maybe 4 or 5 of them, a couple different periods of time, and then I've got the embossed label ones. Then I've got the press label ones, and I even have, and I've showed it somewhere along the way on the show, a resin copy that my friend Fardamark here on YouTube made. He making, I don't think he does anymore, but he was making these like vacuum form resin molded discs. It was really interesting stuff. First live, says Coach Derek, newbie to records. Well, welcome in. And so what's different about me in this channel is I don't purport to be an expert. I always say that I'm a beginner myself. And I had records when I was a kid in the 80s. And then I quickly moved on to other things. And I didn't get back around to being into vinyl until like 2016. So I had to relearn everything. And I go back and I started doing my channel like almost like within a year of me getting back into vinyl. So when you do a YouTube video, you have a tendency to kind of fall into this. I don't want to call it a trap, but you have this tendency to fall into a mode of being an instructor or talking in an instructive way, which I have to be very careful of because I'm learning, I'm experiencing, and really have learned more from you guys than anything I've, taught anybody else. So you're in good company where it's all about, records and vinyl on the cheap, affordable, entry level, and that's okay. And focusing on the entry level and not, everything has to be audiophile grade. So you are in you're among friends and like-minded people. So welcome in. I'm notoriously slow on comments, guys, so bear with me. Jeremy says, well, after the show, I plan on listening to Sandy Nelson album Walking Beats. Very cool. Kyle says, I'm wondering if there is a Fairly Odd Parents record album soundtrack. I'm Fairly Odd Parents fan. I might have seen that. I'm not sure. Marcus, welcome in. I think I might try to display some of my CD cases. That'd be really cool. That would be really cool. Todd says, this is my first time watching you live. I'm glad for that, Todd. I was hoping to cast a net that would bring some more folks in. And, these lives are just fun and they're informal and we just hang out. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear anything you want to say. It gives me a chance to kind of bring you guys up to speed on behind the scenes, what I'm working on, what's working, what's not just, my personal setup and listening to music and audio, what records I'm looking for, but the show as well, kind of what we're working on there. No one beats George Strait. He's a good, very good musician. I don't have any George Strait music, but I've definitely listened to him like on streaming before. Rice Cooker says, I'm more of a poster guy. I have a beaten up White Album poster and it fills my office very nicely, not to mention records brought back probably. So White Album, you guys are bringing up something that has been kind of an obsession of mine lately, and that is the Beatles. Now, I go down these rabbit holes, and for the old timers on here, they will know that I am no stranger to just obsessively going down a rabbit hole. And it's fun. My wife thinks it's very annoying and costly, but it's very fun. And my latest one is the Beatles. And I'd said for years that I'm a Beatles kind of a greatest hits fan. And I've got the Beatles. In fact, because I was listening to it, I was actually, for my own purpose, my own use, making a tape. I was making a reel-to-reel tape because I know I'll never own a real one. But where did I put that? Oh, it was in a different, that's right. It was in a different player. Was making a tape of a Beatles album. This is my only pretty much only Beatles I own. This is one CD. I got it for Christmas last year. Beatles won the number one hits. It's a greatest hits. And apparently it's mixed differently. So the stereo mixes on here were done in the early 2000s, I believe. There's a vinyl version as well. But I got the compact disc because that's just what I was, thinking I wanted at the moment. And so I've always said I'm a Beatles greatest hits fan. I had one of the anthology releases in the 90s, and I've always loved their best known songs, but I've never been somebody to go deep catalog and, to really be interested in the non A-list, number ones, as it were. And I do have a couple 45s. I picked up a Yoko Ono and John Lennon Marble 45 at this Tampa record show. And I've got Something and Get Back on 45. It's a Apple release stereo, which I guess a stereo 45s are a bit more sought after than the mono ones. But that's it for Beatles. But I've become very, very interested. And you guys have told me that I'm like, where do I start? Because I went to that record show and there were so many albums. And I just was overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't even know. You ever do that where you're like, I want something, but I'm so overwhelmed I don't know where to start. So I just don't get anything. So for me, I was like, I didn't get anything except for that 45. And everybody's like, here's what you need to do, Record-ology. You need to get yourself only 2 albums. You need to get the red album and you get the blue album. And between the two of them, you'll have a fantastic starting point for a Beatles collection. So I'm on the lookout for that. And I've seen them at like stores like Best Buy for like $48 because they're each a 2-disc set. So I have, again, that's $50 each, and I will need both of them. So that's $100 worth of records. And so that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I'm hoping to pick up either one of those, perhaps. You never see them at a thrift store, but maybe at a record show, if, next time I go to one of those. But that's what I'm looking for. That's what I would love to have. There you go. You reminded me of it when you mentioned the White Album poster. Todd says, I'm a big fan of Clint Black. Yes, I love Clint Black. He is great. And I had his greatest hits album from like 1996. And Like the Rain, fantastic song. I love that song. Absolutely. With the headphones on. And I wore that one out. I had that CD back in the 90s. And remember him on The Apprentice? That was kind of weird. That was kind of interesting. It's weird seeing people on like celebrities on reality shows, and they're like not in character necessarily and stuff. But yeah, that's good stuff. Timothy says I picked up 3 album sets from the Netflix show Stranger Things. Has songs on it, most of them from the 80s, some 70s and 60s. That's cool. I think there's a Patsy Cline song on one of those. I'm not sure which one. I don't have any of the Stranger Things stuff albums. That was a really bad sentence. I don't have any of the Stranger Things albums, whether it be vinyl, tapes, or CDs. I think they have all of them. But yeah, I think there's a Patsy Cline on there. I'm a huge Patsy Cline collector, so I'm always on the lookout for Patsy Cline music. Michael says, I'm an old fart who loves old country, but some of the newer stuff isn't all that bad. I prefer old country. So Hank Williams, Patsy Cline. In fact, I just picked up, let me see if I can find it. I just picked this up at the record show in Tampa, and I've already shown it on the show, so if you've seen it, forgive me. But Ernest Tubbs. Now, this is really cool. Ernest Tubb obviously had the record shop in Nashville, which closed recently. That's really sad. I really wanted to see that. My dad told me about it, and I wanted to get a chance to see it, but I didn't get there in time. He would do, after the Grand Ole Opry was over, he would bring some of the up-and-coming stars over to his record studio or his record store, and in the back there was a little stage, and they would perform a radio show at midnight, and Patsy Cline was on there amongst other up-and-comers, and I just love this. But yeah, Ernest Tubb, that's my favorite stuff. That's my favorite kind of country. Now, new country, I like Clint Black. I like I like what's his name? The guy that hates streaming, but all of his stuff is available at Walmart. Gosh, that was one of the first CDs I ever owned. I keep wanting to say Clint Black, but it's not. Who is that? You guys will tell me in a minute. Who's the guy that hates streaming? So none of his stuff is on any streaming service. Garth Brooks. Thank you. I like Garth Brooks, stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, there you go. Ronnie Millsap is awesome. I actually got into vinyl because of your channel, says Ryan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I got into vinyl because of a YouTube channel as well. And my wife rused the day that happened. I was watching, what's it called? The Victrola guy. And I just became transfixed on the idea of records. And he was doing cylinder records. But that's what really got me thinking about doing this. And then the rest is just, that's a story I've told a million times, how I started this, why I started this. Sheep YT says, I love CDs. And so do I. I am a very big proponent of CDs. George says, I just acquired a couple of solo Roger Daltrey albums I had in the 80s, this time on vinyl. That's really cool. Nicole says, your record player review videos really did help me pick out my set. I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad to hear it. Rice Cooker says, my IT85 is still up and running. Super happy with my hi-fi. A while back, I picked up an Italian bootleg called The Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Wow. It was free. Wow, that's even better. Tim Allen's in the house, fellow YouTuber. Go over and subscribe if you haven't done so already to Mr. Tim Allen. I love his record review shows. I wish you could stay longer. Thank you for popping in, my friend. Appreciate it. How does a giveaway work? Let's get to the giveaway. Been collecting CDs for a while. I'm looking for a record for a Radio Shack. A record Radio Shack made called All Ears. Interesting. Other than Hank Williams and Garth Brooks, George is one of the biggest country artists of all time. I got the vinyl version target for $5. Reno, welcome in. Gerald says, what were your big RSD pickups this year? Mine was Bill Evans and the Maricone soundtrack. So I got 2 RSD releases. I apologize for this less than flattering angle of me. But I happen to have the records in question right down here. Another great thing about live YouTube is you get to see wonderful stuff like this. Come on, where is it? Come on. Oh, for the love of goodness. For real? I just put it in here. Okay. Well, I got the Dolly Parton Monument releases. And then I got this. I must have misfiled that. Sometimes I do that. Incense and Peppermints. I'm not a huge rock and roll person, not by any means, but this is one of the bands I do like. This whole record is good. I had not heard anything except for this is Strawberry Alarm Clock. I hadn't heard anything besides Incense and Peppermints. But when I got this, I listened obviously to the whole record and loved it. So it's on this beautiful strawberry, as it were, record. Beautiful pink. Nice quality pressing as well. This is one of the few times I'll actually use a paper sleeve because it's poly-lined. If it's a poly-lined sleeve, I just leave it. I used to toss them no matter what. But now if it's paper with poly lining, I keep it. And I've got an overload of sleeves, both inner and outer sleeves, so I don't need to do this. But I also don't want to be wasteful. So it makes sense. How about you guys? What did you find for Record Store Day? I did not find the Dolly Parton release myself. My friend up in another state found it for me, and I paid him for it, and then he sent it to me. What happened to Dolly Parton? That's so weird. I must have misfiled it. Sorry to look at my back. All right, we're going to do the giveaway in just a minute here. We're going to get started. We got 4 to give away, so we're going to have to get this going pretty quick. But I also don't want to miss comments. Jamie says, or Jaime, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Either Jaime or Jamie says, I like the Beatles. I have both 62 to 66 and 67 to 70 collections on CD and cassettes. That's really cool. RSD had picked up Van Halen, Todd R, Mr. Big, very cool. I love the pedal steel guitar. Highwayman, not to be pushy. Have you listened to Klaatu yet? I don't think I have. I need to. That's one of the things I need to. Robert says, give your attention to the Beatles UK catalog. Get the Parlophone pressings. I would skip the Capitol releases as they sounded pretty bad, although for completion purposes, you can get them. There's so much out there, isn't there? There's so much out there. Season 2 album is mostly dialogue. Dwight Yoakam, Marty Robbins. I love that song, the Marty Robbins song. El Paso, I think is what it's called. Great song. Ray Stevens. Saw him in person in Branson once. Welcome from Germany. Michael says, I'm still. By the way, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. We got 40 people in the house. Glad to have it. We're about to start the giveaway. In your opinion, what is the best boombox that plays cassettes? My favorite is my old Sony that we featured on the show from like 1991, bar none. I still haven't found a tape player that lives up to the vintage stuff. They're not as good anymore. Love vinyl CDs, but for me, nothing beats the muddy and muffled sound of cassettes. A lot of people feel that way. Thomas, welcome in. Oh, that's interesting. Like Nicole, like some of them had collected. When my wife and I were dating, I started buying her copies of all of the albums that I had, like CDs at the time. And I'm like, you have to have this. And now you have to have that. And now you have to have this. And then finally she's like, you should stop doing this because we're going to have 2 copies of everything. And sure enough, to this day, I still have 2 copies of some of my favorite albums because we would share them with each other. For someone who'd have to import from the US, would you recommend vinyl? From a cost standpoint, I think CDs would be better. I'm thinking of naming a plush after me. What would it be called? I'm afraid. Jeremy says, we had a new record store open in my town of Iron Horse. Oh, Iron Horse Record. And I participated. Yeah, I know. I had a record shop that I knew that hadn't participated, and that was kind of weird because I went there and I was like, hey, guys, where's the stuff? And they're like, oh, we didn't participate. I like listening to soundtracks. Me too. In fact, I just picked up some Star Trek Next Generation. Did you see VMP is repressing 12 Dolly record? Yes. Dolly, what is it called? Vinyl Me, Please. But it's like Dolly Me, Please. That doesn't sound right. It was like Vinyl Me Dolly. I don't know what it was, but it's like a Dolly Parton subscription service. I did see that. That's cool. I see they'll do it next year. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Time for a giveaway. Here's how this is going to work. I need my keyboard back. We are going to give away 4 CD players. Now, here's how it works. You enter, I'm going to ask questions like trivia questions or whatever, and you enter by emailing your answer. You don't put it in Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner. Absolutely. He's the one that really got her going in the big way. Have not heard the new Foo Fighters. Okay, so if I miss a comment, guys, I apologize, but I want to get started on this. But keep the comments coming. I love it. I love it. And obviously, chat amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. So you email your answer to recordology1938@gmail.com. I want to put that in here. Email your answer to Record-ology, all one word, 1938@gmail.com. Please do not put your answer in the chat. And the reason why is this. A long time ago, we tried doing that, and people were like, hey, I answered first, or that person answered first. They didn't answer first. Then I learned a valuable lesson that internet traffic, such as chats and live streams, are low priority internet traffic and are delivered on a best case, like a best effort basis. That means that packets that contain that information may reach you, me, and each other in different orders, because if somebody say is here in Florida, their answer may get to me sooner than somebody in Alaska, as an example. So it's not the order that I get the chat, maybe slightly different than the order that you get it or somebody else gets it. I didn't realize that at the time. So what I can control is the order of which emails come to me. So I've decided to do an email-based thing, and that's the way to enter. So recordology1938@gmail.com, and you too, as long as you live in the United States, Canada, Mexico, or the United Kingdom, could win a prize. Now, I can't control if there's any sort of VAT tax, if there's any sort of, in terms of importing and whatnot, they're going to send it. And Klim, KLIM is a manufacturer. Klim is going to send it. But if there's anything in terms of paying to get it out of customs or whatever, I don't know how that works. I can't control that. I can tell you that it will be sent. We're not paying any of those fees. We're not any of that. There's no refunds. There's no exchanges. There's no returns. It just is what it is. We're here to have fun. So anyway, I'm going to put this. I'm copying this in case I need to put it in there again. So just remember, email your answer. So get your email queued up, recordology1938@gmail.com. Now, another thing I want to mention is please include your name and address when you enter. Also, be over 18 years old. Don't be, can't be a minor. You need to be an adult, 18 years and older, please, only. Whew. Okay, so we are going to be giving away these Klim CD players. These are like $59, I think. I have it up here because I wanted to mention the Klim Nomad. Yeah, $59. They come in a variety of colors. We're going to give away one of each color. This is the wood grain one, and it's just, these are really good. Now, I've reviewed a lot of modern CD players. And the Klim is my favorite. It is absolutely my favorite. Why? Because it's got the quietest motor. Sometimes newer CD players have this thing where when you plug your headphones in, it will actually, you'll hear like a buzz, and it can create noise. It's annoying, especially in quiet passages. This has the quietest motor that I've heard on any modern CD player. And I think that that's one of the best features. It also has the ability to play back an SD card slot. You can see that micro SD right there. It is a rechargeable battery. So the battery is rechargeable. Some people think that's a great thing. Some people think it's a terrible thing. The battery will have a finite amount of charges, right? So this is probably something you're going to have for like 5-6 years-ish estimate. No guarantees, just my assessment. Not like, my old Sony D131 that uses, AA batteries that can infinitely be replaced. This probably won't be here because the battery is not user replaceable. And that's a gripe that people have. That being said, the ability to not have to buy batteries continuously would probably pay for itself in batteries, because you can just keep charging. And they last forever, and not literally. They last a long time, and they hold a charge for a long time. Battery charging light, USB-C charging port there. 2 headphone amplifiers, so you and your friend can listen at the same time. And I'm not going to review the unit. It does transmit Bluetooth. So if you've got Bluetooth earbuds, it will transmit for you as well. Just a really cool CD player. So that's what we're in the running for here. If you're interested, you're in the right place, because you have a chance to win. Now, not only do you get that, but it comes with a case as well, which I think is cool. It's got a little net in here, and the CD player fits snugly. And it also comes with headphones, a surprisingly good pair of headphones. So I've got a brand new one of these right now. Now, the ones that you could win are going to be, oh, nice. Welcome in, Primo Funk. I was watching one of the other videos, like, hey, he's live. Welcome in. We're doing CD player giveaway. We're going to unbox this while we're doing the giveaways. This is the clear one, and it's kind of a good chance for you to see some of the things. So it's got EQ presets. It plays CD-R, rewritable disc, rechargeable battery. It's got surprisingly good headphones. There's the back. Packaging is on point. So I want to do this. I need to make sure I take good notes, because I don't want to make an error in judgment. So I showed you the wood grain one. Here is the matte black one. I think that's probably my favorite one, because it's the fact that it's matte, at least most of it, means it doesn't pick up fingerprints, which is good. As you can see, it's the same basic unit. It does have a window in it. It's got if I turn this on, let's see here. It's got backlit buttons and a backlit display, which is great. I mean, that's something that the units of the 90s often didn't do. So, okay, I'm going to get some paper here, and we are going to take notes. Again, if I miss your comment right now, I apologize, but I'm trying to juggle all of this at the same time. So we have got 4 CD players to give away. We've got a black one. We've got a wood grain one. We've got a white one. And we've got a clear one. Clear one will be the grand finale. The clear one is the same as I'm going to unbox here. So, yeah, you're not late, because I'm very long-winded. But so far, we've got 40 people in the group here, and I'm glad for it. Welcome in, Lori. You're just in time. So, again, email your answer, recordology1938@gmail.com, and here we go. We are going to start with a very easy question. And what I'm going to do is start with the easy question, and then kind of get harder and harder and harder. Again, please don't put your answer in the chat. First one for the black CD player from Klim will be sent to you directly. Please be over 18. Please be in one of the countries we talked about. Be the first one to email the correct answer with your name and address to this question. The question is, what year did Record-ology start? What year did I first upload a video? It was April. We just passed an anniversary And I can't believe it's been going on as long as it has. All right, let's see who's got the first answer over here. That will be the winner of the black CD player. We have a winner. Make sure it's correct. The answer is correct. We have an eligible address. And okay, the winner is Ella. You have won the black CD player. Congratulations. Okay. Congratulations, Ella. You have won, and that will be sent out to you hopefully very, very soon. Mostly correct answers. 2017 is the correct answer. Somebody guessed 2020, somebody guessed 2016. Yeah, we're close. 2017. I can't believe we've done it as long as we have. Okay, that's one of three. Now, let's go ahead and thoughts on the Newmark PT1 USB. It's on sale for $100. Okay, I'm going to look it up real quick. Newmark PT1 USB. I don't know if I've ever reviewed this one or not. I love it when you guys ask me this because you guys introduce me to a lot of stuff. You know, you guys, somebody in the comments on a live not too long ago introduced me to, I can't think of it. Oh, Arcomat. It's a European hi-fi product, like the isolator for the head shell and the really high-end platter mat. And I've since been having some fascinating conversations with that guy and working on some show content and demoing some stuff and hinting at it here and there a little bit. Showed a couple pictures and things. Okay. Oh, yeah, I've seen this thing. I have never played with one of these, but here's my concern is that ceramic cartridge. Now, a ceramic cartridge isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that red tip cartridge is kind of a choke point in terms of sound quality. And if you can afford a record player that has a magnetic cartridge, you will find yourself much more happy with the sound. So I would personally hold off on that for $100 especially. And I would go find something with a magnetic. Find a used Audio-Technica LP60 or LP60X. Harder to find at that price point, but possible. Okay, so you're going to look at this here. Here's what you get in the box. A piece of packaging fell on my arm. I just about screamed. That's like, what is that on my arm, right? So they give you this nice little envelope. The packaging, like I said, is on point. I mean, everything like foil stamped. What's in here? Okay, they give you some. Oh, I remember this. This is cool. So they give you some stickers. These are like metal-backed stickers. Very nice. This is what's super cool. So they offer a few different languages, and you may throw it aside as I did at first. I'm like, I don't need this. What is this? This is so cool. This is a quick start guide, but instead of doing it in a normal way, they make a comic. So your CD player will come with a comic talking about how they got your CD player to you. And on the back, in comic form, they show the team. Now, what I love about these guys is it's not just a faceless importer of overseas technology. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but these guys, you know, they do design work. They are involved in the design of their products and very approachable, very friendly folks. Put it down like that. And like this kind of stuff. They don't have to do that, but I'm glad they do. Let's see. This is the manual itself. And I love the fact this comes in a box instead of just plastic or something. This takes me back to the way I got my first portable CD player, my beloved D131, in a box. That's how electronics used to come before they had to blister pack stuff. And the manual itself is multicolor. It's got great diagrams and things. It's actually useful. You know, it's nice that it's actually useful. Imagine that, a useful manual, but you just see stuff that so many times you get something and it's a letdown and you're like, oh, they're cutting corners. But these guys are not doing that. So that is, yeah. Primo Funk, I want to start uploading more content on my YouTube channel. I would encourage you to do so. And here's the thing, don't wait until you have all the conditions perfect for it. It will never be a perfect time. Now is the perfect time. Just do it. Learn as you go. Don't spend too much time making any particular video. Just go for it. And quantity. You want to upload as much as you can. Just purchased the Pro S for my Concord Electro. Concord Electro cartridge, like my Concord DJ. Wanted to know if they were compatible. Am I missing something here? If I'm missing, thank you, by the way. Congrats on the anniversary. Thank you. Does it have FM radio? Does it? Yes, it does. It does have FM radio. I forgot about that. So it's an accessories box. Again, foil stamped. Now, $59 is a lot of money, but the newer CD players cost a lot of money. But back in the day, this is probably, I think I paid probably $120 for this in 1994. So compared to that, it's not that bad. I want to save this for the end, or I don't want to do that first. They give you a mini audio cable. They give you replacement ear cups for the headphones. They give you a USB-C. I love USB-C. I'm starting to really, at first I was like, really, do we need another connector? But there it is, a USB-C to USB for charging. And now this is really cool, right? These are the headphones they give you. And unlike many like included headphones that come with products, these actually don't suck, which is nice. Even look at this, even this has a cap on it, which is kind of funny. 3 points there, TRRS, because it is microphone included. It even has a cable tie, an actual legit Velcro cable tie, hard to film. And, little touches like that. You don't have to do that. It could just be wrapped in plastic or a rubber band, but it's not. I can't see in this lighting. I think that's a gold colored connector. And here are the headphones. Let's see if I can get a shot of them. Kind of hard to do. They're magnetized, which is a really cool feature, but they actually magnetize together. And you can see the logo on the back. These are metal. And what's really interesting is the ear tip itself is not silicone. This is not a silicone tip like most. This is actually memory foam. Really comfortable, and it stays in your ear very, very nicely. I'm not by default a huge fan of in-ear headphones because they usually just pop out of my ears. They don't stay in. They're uncomfortable. I don't usually like in-ear headphones, but these are different, and that's why I was really surprised. So sound quality is phenomenal. Great stereo separation. They don't sound cheap. They're heavy. These are, like I said, that's all metal construction. This piece is TPU, I believe, but the whole barrel assembly is metal, and like I said, a memory foam ear tip in there. So those are great headphones. And then if you don't want to use the built-in headphones, they come with Bluetooth out, so it will transmit Bluetooth. Vinyl got me bankrupt. It can do that. It can really do that. Supposedly the stylus is the same as a GT car. Oh, is it really one of the? So it's a groove tool? Okay. If the Newmark has the groove tool magnetic, then I could see that maybe being worth $100. If it's impedance matched proper, well, it would be if it was magnetic. Maybe that. Somebody have to let me know. I got to get my hands on one of those. I have seen them. Okay, so like the others, it comes in a clear. This is clear. You can't just see through it. If you can't see through this, something's wrong with your eyes. No, this is a case that it comes in, soft padded case. I remember high school was it high school or junior high? Everybody had CD players, and I was, on brand for myself, late to the party. But we all had CD players and used to carry them around in these cases. They were never this compact and cool. Usually they were like padded leather, like a leatherette material, and you could fit like 4 or 5 CDs in there, and you wear it around your neck. And I remember I had a shop teacher making fun of us wearing those at the time. But this is a nice form-fitted case, zipper around the edge. Here's the big reveal, the clear unit. Oh, I love that. Now, I did a show once called Not Prison Tech because there's a lot of people, Tech Mom did that show about clear tech and how it was designed for prisons because people couldn't smuggle things into jail inside devices, everything from TVs to whatever. But not if you're a child of the 80s and 90s like me, you think of clear stuff as just being like 80s, 90s cool because that was cool back then. Remember the telephone with like the colorful, primary color parts and stuff inside? I love clear tech. I've got a clear cassette player. I've got, clear radios. And so to have a clear CD player, I've never had a clear CD player. I love to see how things work and all that. This is crazy cool. Look at this. Now it is smoked. I wish it was totally clear, but it's got that matte finish, which is really nice because it helps prevent fingerprints. But let's see what we got on the bottom. There's the batteries. There's a motor right there, right underneath the spindle. So interesting that the spindle motor is directly mounted under. It's not belt driven or anything. There's the rubber feet, old switch. You can see the sled right there and the rail where the laser mechanism goes. This is so cool. I love this. And then on the top side, it's obviously obscured a little bit, but you can see it looks like a blue circuit board and a lot of, oh, cool. You can see some of the PCB behind the buttons too. These CD players now, for the most part, seem to be driven from the top panel versus the edge. And as you can see on comparing it to this old 90s unit, this was kind of par for the course back then where the controls would be around the front. This one was angled. But it was a while before the controls were up here, which makes sense because if you're holding this thing, it makes sense to control it like this. Otherwise, you're constantly going like this. And non-backlit means that you're trying to find light or, doing it by memory in the dark. I remember on Spend the Nights and sleepovers and things, having the CD player like in a sleeping bag and trying to, by memory, find the volume. Okay, this is the volume. This is the skip track, the transport, the play, the pause, whatever. So eventually, reasonable minds prevailed, and this is how you control things. It makes sense. And it's a great evolution. If you're into CDs, if you like CDs, it's a great time to be into CDs because they're cheap. They're cheaper than anything. You go to a thrift store, they're like $1 a piece max. I mean, they are cheap to buy. Go on eBay, they're $1 or $2. You can buy pretty much any CD you want on eBay for like less than $5, including shipping. CD players are showing up at thrift stores. Vintage ones are around. There's new CD players if you want to invest in those or win one, which we're going to give away another one right now. So that's enough for that right this second. Let me put that up there. And I'll put this somewhere else. I'll put that right there. We're going to give away the wood-colored one now. And again, these will be shipped directly from Klim. So I don't know exactly how long it'll take to ship. But I'm going to provide a list of winners, and we're going to go from there. All right, so again, email your answer. Koss headphones are surprisingly good. That is true. Copy my own post here. All right, give me away number 2 now. And email your answers, recordology1938@gmail.com. Don't put it in the chat. Yeah, I've picked up some from the Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, one of those places that has a CD player. Now they're not really dollar stores, but yeah. I burn CDs too. I do. I actually do. Absolutely. I pick them up if they're cheap at like thrift stores and stuff. At least I used to. Thrift stores in Florida are a very different story than Colorado. Now I see why people are like, wow, your thrift stores are amazing, because I've gone to a couple here and I'm like, ooh, wow, that's Family Tree has a CD player. How much is it? I might have to go check that out just for the novelty. Even though it broke in a week, I want to check it out. Okay, so that was the first giveaway. The second one for the wood grain, might as well get it out and demonstrate it, or at least show it to you so we have a visual. So this is the next giveaway. And The question is going to get a little bit, $10. Okay, I got to check that out. Thanks for the tip. Family Tree? Or is it Dollar Tree or Family Dollar? I feel like that's a combination of like two different stores. This is the one we're giving away. The question needs to be a little bit harder. What should the question be? Okay. This is a little bit of a... no, I don't. I think that's a little bit too deep. I don't want to make it too hard right off the bat. Okay, I got a good one. This will be an interesting one. What, and again, email your answer. What is, first person to get the correct answer with your name and address included, what is the higher end / premium brand of Panasonic that people like to collect for record players, tape decks, and other products? They make one of the most popular record players today. What is the higher end brand of Panasonic? And some of them still say Panasonic on them. They say, whatever it is, by Panasonic. Email your answer for a chance to win. Not for a chance. For a chance to win the wood grain CD player from Klim. First person with the correct answer gets it, assuming they're in the right area. 18 years and older. And dun, 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 dun. Interesting answers. I've got Audio Technica, Sanyo. What else did somebody say? Interesting. But I do have a correct answer. I do indeed have a correct answer. And the answer is, I want to make sure that we got... okay, here it is. Okay. And the answer is Technics. Technics is the brand. Technics by Panasonic is their premium brand and a very desirable brand for record players. I finally got a hold of some, thanks in no short part to you guys. And the winner is Michael. Michael, you have won the wood grain CD player. Congratulations, Michael. Thank you, everybody, for entering. We got 2 more to go. If you haven't won yet, take a deep breath. We still have the white one and a clear one. So we've looked at this. Yeah, congratulations. Me too, right? These are cool. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Obviously, it comes with a paper to remove that. You can see the sled. You can see some more of the internals there. Look at these mounts. Look like shock mounts, probably for the transport sled. Top of the battery. That's cool. Power core, 200 milliamp, 3.7 volt. Probably a lithium polymer, I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure. And then there's the back of the board, because most of the brains of the unit are up there, and then the mechanics are down here under this. I guess this would be considered a plinth. Isn't that cool? I love the clear one. We're giving the clear one away and a white one coming up shortly. I have no brain cells. That's 1.5 more than I have. But yeah, isn't that cool? I love the metal stickers. I have so many stickers from things. Like I'm running out of, I don't know where to. Like anytime I have a need for stickers, I'm like, yes, I have stickers to use on that. And again, I love the comic book. What did I do with it? These are, I don't know what I did. I wanted a different language. Isn't this cool? I just love this. It's really funny. You read through it. Great stuff. Great manual, great headphones. Comes with a case. Fantastic compact disc player. The one thing, and I've reached out to these guys and I've asked them, I said, you know what I want to know? I really, really, really want to know. Oh, yeah. You get your replacement earpieces. I don't know if those are all different sizes or if they're just replaced. Yeah, I think they are. There's a piece. There's also a clip in here. Oh, interesting. I got to open this up. I don't think I've ever opened this up. I just assumed it was all earpieces, but I felt something hard in here. It's got like a little clip, and I bet that's to a clip if you wanted to clip the thing to your shirt, the wire to the headphone. And then looking at the earpieces here, yeah, they're all different sizes. And again, they're memory foam instead of silicone, which is very unique and comfortable. And you get the USB charging cord, you get the audio cable as well. Random question. But at the heyday of portable CD players, what were you listening to back then, says Joe? That's a great question. I like that. I've never been a popular person, so I wasn't listening to Metallica Black and Run DMC like so many other people. Actually, no, I was listening to Run DMC. I had Run DMC. I was trying to say Sir Mix-a-Lot, although I did at one point in my life have Sir Mix-a-Lot too. And at one point I did have Metallica. If you can believe it. I went through phases of that stuff, but mostly soundtracks. I've always really, really enjoyed listening to soundtracks, and I've really enjoyed big band music. I've really enjoyed everything from musicals to orchestral music to jazz. What else would I have been listening to back in those days? I mean, I've listened to it all. I've gone through phases of pretty much every type of music. But in high school, I definitely would be listening to like Lena Horne or Benny Goodman instead of a lot of what others were listening to. But what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought there for a minute, is one thing that you do not see on CD players anymore is any information on the DAC. As you can see, this, maybe not be able to see it, but it has a 1-bit DAC. It says it right there under the C. Is it under the C? Under the S. 1-bit DAC. Now, older portable CD players used a 16-bit DAC. And basically, it sound shaped the waveform with 16 switches. And those switches were over time consolidated into a sound shaping through a 1-bit DAC that even though it was 1 bit versus 16, it was better. And it used basically certain levels of frequency and signal to sound shape instead of 16 individual relays or switches. And so the 1-bit DAC was the kind of gold standard in terms of decoding that information. You cannot find that anywhere on any modern CD player. It did never talk. I'm assuming it's a 1-bit system because that's where the technology went. But I have no idea. And I've asked these guys how they do that, and we're having an ongoing conversation. So I hope they can answer that. I would be fascinated to see how that's done. There are combination Family Dollar and Dollar Tree stores. What? That's crazy. I didn't know that. My current soundtrack LP listen is the 1972 film, The Red Queen. Interesting. The switch over LPs. Yeah, me too. All over the map. I've listened to everything from AC/DC to Dixieland Jazz to Garth Brooks. I'm not the only one. It's the Carpenters, the remote. I love the Carpenters. Absolutely. Larry, welcome in the house. Thank you for moderating. You'll notice Larry's sporting two wonderful things. He's sporting a wrench because he's a mod. He's also sporting an R, because Record-ology hasn't optimized the logos, the badges for the membership program. If you want to be a part of the Record-ology Inner Circle and help support the channel for the low price of $1 a month, check out the description of this video, our About tab, and you can help support us as well. Did you see Radio TV Phononut burn up a Crosley? So I know he does that. I don't do that. Although I did run over a record player with a car. I've done that a couple of times. mostly for shock value. But anyway, you can join the club if you guys literally want to be a part of that. Super chats, super thanks also go a long way. Larry's been a member for 13 months now, so thank you so much, Larry. Really appreciate it. I miss Karen Carpenter, says Michael. Absolutely. What a voice, what a talent, especially around Christmas time. Absolutely. If I have missed your comment, I really apologize, everybody. I'm trying my best to do both here. Thank you for joining us. We got 2 more CD players to give away. 2 more to go. Can you run my suitcase player over? Absolutely. They're not that bad. They are not that bad. There's some that are worse than others. By the way, Crosley has a new one. It is a 4th or 5th gen suitcase player that has apparently, and she was a good drummer. That's how she got her start. Absolutely. When she drums and sings, it's incredible. It's an interesting thing what they're trying to do, because they're trying to up the sound quality of that, keeping the ceramic cartridge. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting my hands on one of those soon. It'll be probably the 3rd or 4th actual cruiser we reviewed. As you guys know, I blew my last one up by plugging in the wrong power supply, and that was my fault. But that was bad. Don't put a 12-volt power supply, even if it fits, into the back of your 5-volt powered Crosley Cruiser. Love the channel. Been a CD guy since 1982 and never looked back. That's great, Georgie. We welcome in. We absolutely embrace CDs here. Love CDs. Love. Never got rid of my CDs, although I made the heinous mistake of thinking it was a good idea about 20 years ago to take out all of my CDs out of their jewel cases and put them in these stupid sleeves. And so I had this great idea. I know what I'll do. I'll put the CD in these sleeves, and then I'll put the artwork on the other side, and then I'll be able to fit a lot of them in a small place. And you can see this came out of like a notebook. By the way, if you guys are into big band and stuff, this is one of the coolest compact disc labels you ever see. Brunswick. And that's not all. I was listening to another one that's really cool. For my CD fans in the house, check this out. So yeah, I really regret doing that. Now, not all of my CDs are without jewel cases. All my favorites, I think, for the most part now have the jewel cases. But I've got several hundred CDs that are in slip cases now. And you never know. You never remember what you have, you know? So it's hard to organize it. So yeah, the Brunswick compact disc. This is incredible. This is the complete recording collection of Harry James featuring Frank Sinatra. Before Tommy Dorsey, Old Blue Eyes was with Harry James. And this entire recorded catalog of that exists on one CD. And then check this Biograph CD out. Aren't those the coolest things ever? Some 20s music. Buddy Holly was on Brunswick. Yeah, Glenn Miller, also on Brunswick. His first band was on Brunswick, Columbia. And before his second most successful band signed with Bluebird of RCA Victor fame. And the rest is history. Then he was promoted in 1942 from Bluebird to RCA Victor. But that's a separate show for a separate day. Do I like Meatloaf? Yes, I just ordered some the other day. Oh, the band, the singer? Absolutely. I would do a lot for Meatloaf music, but I wouldn't do that. Would you collect CDs or cassettes? I collect them all. Absolutely. Still using the same CD player since 82. So that would be a 16-bit machine. Interesting. By the way, Larry, went over on the way down when we moved from Colorado to Florida. I stopped briefly in Nashville, and we went to the Owen Bradley Quonset Hut studio where Patsy Cline recorded. But Buddy Holly also recorded there before the Crickets. Those car cases. Exactly. And that's what this stupid sleeve came out of. And I threw away all these jewel cases. And now I really regret doing that. I mean, it protected the discs all right, but, you know, I really wish I hadn't done that. My dad has a case of all his CDs. He threw all the jewel cases. See, and the booklets too. See, I kept my booklets, but now they're hopelessly mixed up. Like, and I've gone through multiple times over the years, tried to sort it out. And there's booklets with no CDs. There's CDs with no booklets. Just listen to the side one of Rubber Soul. Can't beat it. Yeah, and don't get me started on Beatles again. I need to get my hands on those albums. Absolutely. As I said, the only format I've been listening to has been CD. That's cool. Robert says, absolutely love the CDs with simulated wood or simulated vinyl labels. Absolutely. Started collecting CDs about 30 years ago. I haven't looked back. Also have vinyl as well. Would love to see more videos on CDs. Have you ever heard Phil Keaggy? I have. I can't think of what he's known for, but yes, I have recognized that name. The Who reportedly recorded the same studio as well. Interesting. Ezzy Chan says, I have a whole bunch of the jewel cases still, even though I have a book for most of my CDs. You can buy brand new CD cases. It's true. Waiting for the CD of Astrid Gilberto with James. Storks come in the mail. Interesting. Early CDs sounded awful, tinny and harsh. CD digipacks look like mini vinyl. That's what my my Beatles. In fact, let me show you my Beatles one. It's worth getting up and disrupting the show for because it's a cool. This is. I think this would be considered a digipack. I think it would be. Maybe not, but this is the Beatles one that I have, and typically a digipack has like a plastic inlay where you snap the CD in. This one just has a sleeve, so it really is like a vinyl record. And then it's got this really thick booklet. Check that out. This is what and streaming doesn't have that. This is the worst part about streaming is this. You don't get this. There's no booklet. You know what I mean? Like, I love the booklet. I used to read this. I had this rule where I would not allow myself to listen to the music unless I had read the booklet all the way through because I wanted to be aware of exactly what I had. This is great, by the way. It has all the singles covers to all the Beatles singles from around the world. Really, really cool. So I don't know if that's still considered a digipack, but that's a great collection. 27 songs? Doesn't have everything, but it's got the number ones, and they're a special mix. It's a special stereo mix, and it sounds great. It sounds amazing. And the thing about the early CDs, there's the whole loudness war that people get, concerned about when it comes to CDs, especially early ones, and basically trying to compress that sound into a narrower frequency and make them louder and stuff. And hasn't really impacted me. I know a lot of people just can't stand that, but for me, I've never had a CD that I was like, I didn't like the sound, unless it was just because it was a bad recording. Mini disc. Oh yeah, we've done mini disc before. If you like mini disc, if you like weird formats, we do it all. 8-track, mini disc. We do Seberg records. We do, we do everything. We've done music boxes, every format of record, slot-in record players, vintage wind-up phonographs, automatics, manuals, vintage, contemporary, novelty, vertical, you name it. We've got it all on this channel. Love liner notes. Just went to Twist and Shout. Oh, you're making me jealous. That's a great story. All right, time for another giveaway. Now we're giving away the white CD player from Klim. I want to go over a couple more features that I really, really like about this. It's a rugged device. I'm looking through their Amazon page to see if I can remember any features I didn't mention before. We talked about the backlit buttons. There's a 5-year warranty. And I do feel like the build quality is good. The sound quality is objectively better than other contemporary CD players in my experience. The motor is super silent. It's got a good headphone amplifier. Sound quality is great. The one thing that isn't my favorite about the TF card part of it is this. First of all, I love the fact they're putting a TF card or an SD card. It's the same thing on these because I listen to a lot of audio on SD card, digital audio, but they don't have a good navigation system. They have a folder button. Usually, I need to play more with the Klim Nomad to see how exactly theirs works. But yeah, it's got a directory button. Typically, that skips from one folder. Like if you have MP3s in various folders on the SD card, if you hit the skip button forward or back, it goes from first, sequential file to the next, like a regular transport control. But if you hit the directory button, it just goes to the next folder. And I wish there was a way to really navigate and see the file names and stuff. And I think you can see the file name once it starts playing, but to be able to navigate through the file system a little better would be great, because my SD card is a 32 gig that's filled with stuff. I mean, it's absolutely massively full of audio. So it's kind of hard to navigate on that sometimes. So that being said, something to consider. Okay, time for another giveaway. Phil Keaggy is a Christian guitar player recently. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I knew the name. I worked in Christian television for many, many years. I got some early 80s CDs from Japan. Yeah, I guess the Japanese CDs sound really, really good. Okay. Next question. Again, email your answer, recordology1938@gmail.com. This will be for the 3rd out of 4 CD players. This will be the white one. And the question is, I should have had these questions ahead of time, but I didn't. But I like to kind of do it on the fly. I like this. It's informal. We're just having fun here. We're just hanging out. We've given away 2 out of 4. We've given away the black one, the wood grain one, and we have left the white and the clear. And we unboxed the clear. Have to be in the US, Canada, or Mexico, or United Kingdom. You have to be over 18 years old. And if you've won something recently, let somebody else win. We also do a lot of reel-to-reel, by the way. Whoa, focus. Hello. There we go. Low light in the air. The camera seems like it's slowly either making me shrink or falling back. What speed do vintage records spin at? And this is a generalization because there was some variance, but when you think of a record from 1942 or 1929, what RPM is that record going to spin at? That's a pretty easy one too. But if you're new to vinyl, maybe you don't know. Fair enough. Record-ology1938@gmail.com. Don't forget your name and address so we have a place to send the winnings to. Don't put your answer in the thing, please. Don't put your answer in the chat. Don't put your answer in the chat, please. Don't put your answer in the chat. 1938 means something. Actually, no. I wanted recordology@gmail.com, and I couldn't have it. So, well, it kind of does. No, you're good. Everybody does it. It's okay. I think I picked it because it was the first year of the Glenn Miller's successful band. Okay, I'm sure we have a correct answer now. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we have a correct answer. We have a few correct answers. Wow, we have a lot of correct answers. But we only have one winner because Lori, you have won. The correct answer being, of course, 78 RPM. Lori, congratulations. You've won the white CD player from Klim, white Nomad. And And I thank you for entering. One more to go. Really appreciate everybody being on here and entering. Excuse me, allergies. Okay, what else can we say that hasn't been said? CD player, Bluetooth out, aux in. Oh yeah, it's got an aux in. That's why you give that aux. Where do you plug the aux in at? How do you do an aux in? How can it have an aux in? Audio sources. Aux in? I don't see an aux in jack. It's got a headphone in. 2 headphone, well, not headphone in, headphone out. By the way, you'll notice on the headphone amplifier, headphone jacks there, one of them, this one has like this little logo. That's an antenna, meaning that, and it's weird they do it on number 2, because if you want to listen to the radio, that the headphones are the FM antenna. So you won't be able to pick anything up if you don't plug the headphones in. And specifically, slot number 2 there is the one with the antenna built in. I made the mistake when I first was reviewing this. I was like, I'm not picking up any FM. And I realized I was in the wrong one. You'd figure they'd put it in number 1 by default, but no. Even that, look at that. Even the jack has a little thing hanging over the edge so you can get leverage to pull it out easier. It's just quality, and I really like that. I still don't see an aux in, though. Maybe I don't know where that would be. Pretty sure there's no aux in. I don't know how that would, I don't think there's an aux in, or why would you want that? I'm listening to my tape player from my CD player. That'd be kind of weird. All right, we got one more to go. Walkmans depend on headphone cord. Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got a Walkman or Walkman type device, in fact, I'll show you one that has a speaker like this from Redicus. Yeah, it's a cool unit, but it's not going to sound as good as a vintage unit. If you ever have a Walkman type of device with a built-in speaker, there's always going to be an external antenna. There you go. Kind of an interesting device. This is cool. I think this looks cool. I have one of these in clear too now that I think about it. Yeah. Does this one actually have a stereo head? Can't tell. I think it does. I think this has stereo. Good. It's got good controls. Okay, we're not talking about that. But yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, we reviewed so many radios, and we actually have not a channel, it's a playlist full of all our unboxings. We've done hundreds, probably thousands by now. Cassette players, CD players, enough Record-ology viewing entertainment to keep you busy for years, probably, or to keep you very annoyed for years. Supa Print says, which is wondering if the air quality is affecting anyone. Down here in Florida, not so much. Thankful. We've got very clean air at the moment. And but back in Colorado a couple weeks ago, they've been having terrible air quality from that smoke from the Canadian fires. Larry says there's one radio still available with an analog tuner. What is that? Is there really? Everyone I've reviewed over the past few years has been digital tuned. That's really interesting. All good in Colorado now. That's good. Thunderstorms in Houston, not in Arkansas. I think it's mostly up near New York. I saw some pictures of Times Square that were just rough. All right. All right, my friends. We're coming up on an hour and 20 minutes. You've been very patient. And so it is now time to give away the final CD player from our friends at Klim Nomad in clear. This is really cool. I love how you can see everything. I'll just be geeking out, looking at all this stuff. But these are great CD players. We've talked about all the features. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you didn't win tonight, I do have a link in the description where you can go and pick up one and check out their website. They make some cool boom boxes and things too. We're going to be reviewing more of their stuff in the future. They have a new line of CD players coming out with some upgraded features like FM out, which will be cool. So you want to use it in the car and you don't have Bluetooth in the car. It allows you to broadcast straight to your FM antenna, which is really, really cool. Again, you can get this CD player in a variety of colors, and I really enjoy mine. The backlit buttons, backlit display. Again, let me go ahead and turn this on for you guys. Power on. The buttons light up, and it's going to be really hard to see this display, but it says no disc. It's very clear. I mean, it's hard to see on camera, but to the naked eye, it's very easy to view. Let me see if I put that closer to the camera, if that comes in focus a little better. Yeah, a little better. Kind of hard to see. But you'll get all the typical information you want on there. The lights do shut themselves off so they don't drain the battery. I think you can set how long you want that to go. It's programmable. It's got EQ settings. It's got different play modes like repeat, shuffle, all that good stuff. You can play CDs that you make yourself. You can play, obviously, commercially pressed compact discs. You got the SD card. You got an FM radio. You got great headphones that come with it. So I really would recommend this. And if it was a crap CD player, I wouldn't be doing a giveaway of these. But the fact is, I believe in these guys and what they're doing. And I was happy to do this because I think that this is a quality product. So price-wise, they are expensive-ish, especially if you're comparing them to like the $10 ones at Family Tree. But they're going to be exponentially better. It's good. It's really, really good. Exactly. It said no disc. You got it. All right. Prison. With Larry, we're just talking about that. It's not prison tech, man. It's 90s tech. 90s clear tech was cool. We just talked about it. I just get in your goat. I was totally just talking about that, though. I love the clear tech. It's not all clear tech is prison tech. Okay. All right, guys. Final question, final giveaway. And email your answer there. I'm not going to go through all the rules again. You've heard it enough. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you haven't done so already, check out our other videos, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's grow the channel. Most importantly, thank you and welcome. If you're new, we're so glad to have you here. And we've got content almost daily of some sort, either a poll, a post, or something. So, glad to have you here. Okay, the final question. What record label is Elvis Presley most closely associated with? Don't put it in the comments. Send me an email, Record-ology1938@gmail.com, and the winner will win the clear Klim Nomad CD player. Thanks to everybody for entering, for playing, for listening and chatting and hanging out. We've got more. We give away record players. We give away records. We give away all kinds of stuff. No other YouTube channel. Yeah, close. See, it's tempting to put it in there. We give away everything. We did a couple Christmases ago. We gave away like a pallet full of brand new record player systems and things that were very, very, very cool. Larry says, "Are Denver sports teams still your favorites?" Yeah, it's weird. I was wondering what I was going to feel about that, but I'm still, even though they're not doing great, Rockies fan. Love the Rockies. This is a NASA hat, not another sports team. And I have no brain cells. I don't know if I can help with that. You're asking the wrong guy. But the Rockies are just, I have emotional connections to those games, going with friends and family, for years and years and years. The Broncos, I think I went to one Broncos game in my life, but I watched them extensively on television when I was a kid. A lot of good memories there again. That being said, Tampa Bay Rays, best team in baseball last time I checked. And I did go see a Rays game a few days ago, and it was amazing to see. The first time I've seen an American League team, first time I've seen a ball game indoors. It was incredible. Has anyone used cartridges made by Nagaoka? Yes, we reviewed the Nagaoka MP110 that they're putting on the RT85s. It was a good cartridge. It wasn't as stupendous as I was expecting it to be. I think it's a moving Pomeroy versus moving magnet, but you could preamplify it with a regular moving magnet preamp. And sounds good. It's got a warm signature, very similar to a Grado. It's right about $100. And it was fine. It just wasn't so off the charts great that I would seek it out. Didn't mention the Nuggets. Okay, sorry. Yeah, the Nuggets. I have a Nuggets shirt. I have a Nuggets hat. Went to a Nuggets game last year, and yeah, absolutely. Grado's amazing. I love Grado too. Grado Black, Grado Blue, Grado Gold. We reviewed them all. Dinosaur chicken nuggets. I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? All right, let's see who the winner is. What record label was Elvis Presley most associated with for the win? Who's going to win the clear CD player? And the winner is... This is interesting. Interesting. All righty. And the answer is going to go to the winner is... See, I want to make sure this person didn't... Okay, that's the first correct answer with all of the required elements. Okay. Half Man, Half Amazing has answered Sun Records, and that is correct. You may be saying, wait a minute, wasn't that RCA Victor? Yes, Elvis was on RCA, but before that, and more notably, he was associated with Sun Records, and Half Man, Half Amazing. You have won said CD player, so congratulations. All right. Interesting to see where everybody's from, by the way, too. Absolutely. So great job. We've given away 4 CD players tonight, and I thank you all. Let me check out the comments. Old radios, they didn't send you a notification. I've heard them doing that a lot, man. I'm sorry. Awesome. That's really cool. Recording your records to reel. A lot of people have done that. Save the record, record it to tape, and then play the tape back. Sam Phillips, Sun Records, absolutely. I don't think anybody said it before we picked the answer. I picked it right out of the email like the others. So congratulations, Half Man, Half Amazing. Getting some Edison phonographs and a Music Master horn. Wow, that's really cool. Sun had Roy Orbison. Oh man, the Sun Records lineup. I wish I had my Sun. I have like these the Sun Records miniature records. Yeah, they had some great stuff. Johnny Cash. A lot of famous artists got their start. That's true. Creeder, you have a good point there. That's true. I didn't get notifications either. Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Old radios. That's cool. Yeah, CDs are cool. Jump in because the players are cheap. The CDs are cheap. Absolutely. Record my vinyl to DAT. Now, DAT's one thing I haven't gotten into. DAT and Laserdisc. I've resisted. But you guys got me into 8-track as well. $1 Million Quartet. Absolutely. Marquita's Naughty Crush. What email? Record-ology1930 @gmail.com. It's not a newsletter, but we have the ability to receive emails from viewers for contests, things like that. RCA bought Elvis's Sun record contract. And from what I understand, George, the RCA guy went in and like clotheslined the shelf to grab all the recordings. And there's a strong likelihood that some yet to be discovered Sun records exist that did not get taken over to RCA. Colonel Tom Parker. I still need to watch the movie. I got a few months ago, somebody gave me the Blu-ray of it, and I need to watch it still. I want to. All my vinyl skips. Check out our videos on that. We've done a lot of videos on that. Jerry Lee Lewis, B.B. King, Little Richie, Memphis tour. I need to go to Memphis. I really want to see Graceland. Now, there's a replica Graceland here. Somebody made a Graceland house here. It's very, very amazing. I need to go see it. It's in somewhere near downtown Orlando. Paid $10 or $60 for the Daft Punk 10-year anniversary. Cash went to Columbia. Carl Perkins. Carl Perkins, another one on there. Yep. A lot of Carl Perkins songs ended up Elvis songs. I restored my Power Mac G5. I got it at Swap Meet. That's cool. Exactly. Larry brings up a good point. You have skipping records. Check the little lift shelf under the tone arm. Make sure it's pushed all the way down. Sometimes that can hang up and cause a lot of skipping. Decent bookshelf speakers under 100. That's a good, under 100. I need to do I think, yes. I think check out our speaker reviews, because I think we reviewed a $100 pair of speakers that were surprisingly good. Really, it cost a lot to do the tour. That's a bummer. I really wanted to go inside the Owen Bradley, Patsy Cline studio, the Kwanzaa hut. We were in a hurry, and also, well, that was the reason we'd have to schedule something. I love this. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. So what's coming up next on Record-ology? I have record players that need reviews. That's good. I'm working on a couple of really cool things that are in development and can't happen soon enough, that we're trying to get scheduled. Got some cool events. Always trying to do new and interesting things. Always trying to stay hydrated. I have to drink a lot of water here. By the way, love in Florida. It's beautiful. So many activities and fun things to do. We've had a blast. It's been a huge blessing. And I really appreciate you guys coming with me and checking this out and being here on these shows, these lives, and things like that. All right, Nuggets game is starting, so we better let you go, I guess. Yeah, the heyday. That's a good one. Oh, you'll like this one, Lori. It's a good one. It really, really is. Good night, everybody. I just want to say thank you again. God bless you. Take care of one another. And we'll catch you soon. We'll get you on another show soon. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.